Hello. I think I'm live right now, and we are here for another 3 hours, 2 hours of sprinting across 3 hours. I have a little bit of a dilemma in terms of what I'm reading, so I'll need your help on that in a little bit as well. Buffy has got her paw stuck in my jumper, but I'm wearing like a very oversized, ugly jumper that I once bought because I needed something warmer, and this oversized orange jumper was the only thing they had. Okay, yeah. Now you're just sitting on the wires. Come on. Detangling from beneath my cat. So, hey, Ewald. Hello, Judith. Hey, Larissa. Hello, Denise. Hope you guys are all having a great time. As I said, I have a dilemma at the moment, being that I have one prompt left for Aurelium. So some people may know, but I'm doing two careers. And so for one career, I'm done. But the other one, I need one more prompt, which is to read a book between, what was it, 397 or 415 pages or something like that. And the book that I was going to read for that is Those Above by Daniel Polanski, which I started 2 evenings ago. Then I was constantly falling asleep while trying to read it, which I'm not entirely sure anymore was really due to the book or not, but it's kind of make me think like it's impossible for me to finish this book in time. Then I tried to read A Master of Jinn. So I started that last night. And I made it like 6% in that time. So I'm not sure what I should dedicate my time to. During my commutes, I'm listening to Our Wives Under the Sea because that works for um, Nevermore on, but in the evenings, I'm going to dedicate as much time as possible to one of these two books. Both of the audiobooks are not available to me on script anymore. So, yeah, I am a little bit like. I wouldn't mind carrying over into the next month, except for the fact that, like, yeah, with the readathon prompts, I feel like that is cheating a little bit. Um, According to script, on my desktops, like on my computer, it says that I'll have access to a Master of Jinn tomorrow, but on my phone it says the day after tomorrow when I will be going to Amsterdam, and so I'm going with a friend. We will not be spending our train ride. Um, I won't have the entire train ride to read, for example, because otherwise that would be quite a lot of reading as well that I could get done still then. So yeah, I don't know whether I can still finish this month. But so I'm unsure which one to read now. I bought Disney Speedstorm, so I'm playing that. It's a game, I guess. Then is it like a board game or is it like an online game or like a computer game? The Knight's Peace be upon you. Wow. So formal. Hello, Tufty. Hey, Mika. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Kitty. I am debating. I don't know what to do there. Hello. I went through my clothes today and got rid of, wow, 3 garbage bags filled with clothes. This morning I was like just too late for the garbage collection. I like looked outside a window, saw that the garbage bags were still there, and I was like, ah, phew. And then I went to get it, and then I heard the sound of the garbage van going by. So, well, in 2 weeks' time, we have another shot at it. Hey, Natalie. Hello, Ashley. I would give the first book a bit more of a go before sleepy time. Okay, we can try that. Like, I was struggling with it, but then I also feel like the last 2 days I was just super tired. And so today I actually ate less in the evening because I kind of feel like it's just because of the digestion, because I've been having like two big portions, and so like my digestive system has been struggling too much in the evenings. I will be starting the Dragon Reborn. My goal is to get halfway this month. um I know that title, but like, is that Wheel of Time or is it another series? I still have over 150 pages of Grace of King left for my last class for William. It's stressful. Yeah, we do this to ourselves, but these random things about readathons that give us stress. I have just come indoors from the outside, so I still have dinner to make. Nice. What are you making? I'll put Nick to bed, make some coffee, and after that, I'll read the final strife. Are you rereading it for the release of the second one? I'm hoping I remember enough of it. Like, I feel like it's a book that stuck with me relatively well. Not to say that like some of the details won't have like dropped out, but I do kind of remember where we left most characters off, and like a lot of times I won't remember the ending, and that'll be mainly the reason why I would need to reread. Last night I roasted some Crown Prince squash and made some soup with chili, peppers, and garlic from the garden. Nice. So I'll be warming up soup tonight. Always great to have soup. The bingo and Aurelium do sound like fun, but I'm terrible at a TBR. Like I like Never Marathon bingo. I didn't commit to at all, so I was gonna just register all of my reads at the end of the month. But then like yesterday or Tuesday, I finally signed up, and then I had like the entire bingo board except for two prompts, and then I was like, okay, now I want to complete the bingo, of course. Is the Wheel of Time the third book? Okay. Something lingered from all of those videos of people who are reading Wheel of Time. I'll be reading Going Zero by Anthony McCartan. Enjoy. I'll either continue As Long as Lemon Trees Grow or starting And Every Morning the Way Gets Longer and Longer by Frederick Buckman. I caught up with my YouTube viewing last night, I saw, and 24 hours later I have over 3 hours of content queued up to view. It's Mario. Okay, Mario Kart by Disney. Okay, nice. I am making spaghetti bolognese as a comfort food while watching. My colleague who is from Bologna would urge me to mention that spaghetti bolognese does not exist, but my Belgian side fully understands. Did you pick a team already? Yes, I picked a team. You didn't see my registration. I am Team Nightshades, so I'm hoping to help them to victory. I normally ignore the YouTube recommendation screen, but if they put a video titled Sci-Fi Book Recommendations in front of me, guess who's going to click Watch Later? Nice. But I also want to finish The Haunting of Tramcar 15, as I thought I'd have finished that well before now. It's my first time reading it for Gavin. Okay. I don't know why I thought that you had already read it. For Gavin's Patreon book club, I really like it so far. Good to know the sequel is coming out soon. Yes, it's coming out. I don't know, beginning of May somewhere. I don't know the exact date, but I have registered it for May. Um, no worries. I just thought that maybe you got like an email notification or something when somebody signs up. But yeah, I earlier, like right before this live, for 1 second had the crazy idea to sign up for Script a second time just so that I could have access to these audiobooks. But that would be a little bit excessive, especially since basically the audiobook becomes available to me tomorrow or the day after that. So that's when my new billing cycle starts. So it's really like I'm just missing it. I should actually have my billing cycle earlier in the month. That would be nicer if I had like in the middle of the month. That would be more ideal for me. But yeah. Wait, where was I? Well, so dinner will be warmed and consumed in the first sprint stage, but shall I continue watching TV or reading my book? Or read your book, I would say. First sprint, I'll listen to the last part of the Murder on the Orient Express. Have about 40 minutes left, so should be good to go. Next sprint will be last part of Anansi Boys. Hey, I'm expecting someone to come by, so I'm here until they arrive. Nice. Haha, no Italians were hurt during the making of my spaghetti. How do you sign up twice to two different accounts, two different emails, two different payments? Yeah, I mean, I assume like if I just like sign out and then like use a different email address, I assume I'm able to re sign up, but then of course I would be paying for it twice, which to be fair, compare like I was considering restarting my Audible, but Audible is like 16 euros. Script is like 10, and with Audible you get 1 credit. With Script you can listen to quite a bit. So it would definitely make more sense if it's possible to sign up twice to Scripts. But I'm not gonna be. I did try to check it earlier, but I did not have my headphones on at the time, so I did not know how loud this was. My apologies. If I just change the general volume of my computer, does that make it better? Because annoyingly enough, I cannot go lower than that. I didn't actually hear it. But we will try again in 40 minutes. So happy reading. Hello, everybody. Hope you had a very productive first sprint. I switched books if you didn't notice, so I tried to follow Tufty's advice and start with what was it called? Those Above by Daniel Polanski, but I'm just really not like I'm not able to focus on it. So I am going to hopefully be able to focus on it once I have a audiobook for it. But let me just type in my current read now is A Master of Jin. So where were we? Eh, Here, I think. So dinner will be warmed and consumed in the first sprint stage, but shall no, I already read that one. First sprint I listened, I also read that one. Where was I? This is where I was. The volume was fine. Don't decapitate yourself with the the volume was fine. Okay, good. Hello, hey Laura. 28 minutes left. Joining in, reading Malice by John Gwynne. Hope to finish it today since I'm on page 550. Nice. I've heard really good things about it. It's somewhere on the endless, maybe one day TBR. Hello. I just made some food. I'm not sure if I'm going to read right now or just do nothing. Decisions, decisions. Yes. Not doing anything is also perfectly fine. Hello, Lula. Hey Raf. Sorry for being late. No worries. You can jump in whenever and jump out whenever as well. Kitty. Yes. I think at that point in time was the other kitty who's sitting out off screen at this point in time. But yeah, this one has been with me the entire time now. I'm reading Presumed Intimacy, Parasocial Interaction in Media, Society, and Celebrity Culture. Sounds perfect for your Sanderson video. Aw, the adorable kitty. Don't let her hear that. She'll get like too full of herself. Hi, Poos. Hello again, Rosie. Hey. Hello, I didn't have these written down for some reason. Whoops. No worries, just some very happy people to see one another. I read 33 pages. Yeah, of the not the Great Hunt, the Dragon Reborn. Hello, Joan Late, no worries. I read 0 pages. I'm not sure what I've done, but the time has passed. Yeah, that also sometimes happens, that you're just like, yeah, I'll just like, I don't know, scroll my phone for 5 seconds and before joining in, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, the sprint is almost done. How is this possible? I started the Bachmann. It's a short novella, so only 20 minutes left now. It's touching and sad, but also warm and lovely. Yeah. It's the one with like the cover of them sitting on the bench, right? Is it that one? I think so. Your cat is so cute. She also has a very annoying meow, so it compensates. Talk to my mom on the phone as always during first sprint, and spaghetti are ready. Nice, enjoy them. I was working in the sprint delivery tomorrow. Delivery of what tomorrow? I did chores during the 18 minutes left in the sprint when I joined. Nice. Yes, it is more recent research for the Sanderson video. Bought a wine glass too today. Ow! Bought a bought a wine glass too today, so shit's getting real. You have to curate that academic image. Poirot solved the case. Oh, that's a spoiler. On towards Gaiman with Anansi voice. Read True Story of the Dinosaurs picture book together with Nick and enjoying my cappuccino at the moment. Yeah, I also had some coffee to make sure that, I'm staying awake here. Yes, it is that one. It's about a man with dementia. That's always difficult to read. I read Ghost by Dolly Alderton also has a parental figure who is starting to deal with dementia or Alzheimer's. I'm not entirely sure anymore. But so, yeah, that was also really difficult to read. Now I really want to hear her meow. Yeah, she's been meowing to some extent. I don't know how much the camera is picking up. Now, that was just so cute with your head on your paw. Yeah, that is the annoying meow. Dinner was made, consumed, and dishes have been washed. Nice. Dinosaurs! Well, the yelling could scare off burglars. Yeah, I'm always like worried that one of my neighbors will be like, please get your cat to shut up. So I will never say anything about my upstairs neighbor who sometimes practices the guitar and then his dog howls along. I'm like, ugh, who knows what they can hear of my cats. Project delivery. Okay. So it's a project or it's a book. Did somebody say dinosaurs? Yes, we did say dinosaurs. We were talking about dinosaurs this week on Jolene's Discord because I think it was Hans who went to a dino museum and then we all shared our favorite dino museums. I was trying to fix my mom's printer at work and I'm not very tech savvy. Nothing was fixed, but I think I did isolate the problem, so baby steps. Exactly. One step at a time. Yeah, thanks. So project deadline. Ah, okay, you have a deadline for your project. Oh, Archaeopteryx. I don't know how to pronounce that, nor which dinosaur it is. I like dinos, but basically just because of watching like movies such as Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is one of my favorite movies, but I don't actually know much about dinosaurs themselves. So for that reason, I would say T-Rex just because it's iconic, but I don't know much about them. I actually really always liked like what is its name? I don't even know its name. Like the is it a pterodactyl, which then actually technically apparently is not a dinosaur? I forgot to look how far I was when I started, but I've made it to chapter 25 of my books. Hey, no worries. You never need to full if you don't care about those types of things, you don't need to, When I am on when I'm on sprints, a lot of times I will just say, now I'm on page this of my book without saying how many pages because I also don't really count them. Is your upstairs neighbor any good on guitar? I mean, fairly okay. I think the beginning it was a little bit different, but I think he was just like starting to learn that particular song. But so I also, and it was also like COVID time, so I was like stuck hearing him all the time. And then I think he was potentially also like there were circumstances for which he might not have been working at that point in time because of COVID. So he probably had a lot more free time while I was working from home. So it just made it a little bit like the worst circumstances to get to know one another. But I mean, he's a lovely guy. When I got to meet him, he's like very charming, and he has always mentioned like, "Let me know if it's too loud or whatever." I go with Lula's Archaeopteryx. I need to look that up then. Does the dog have a good... No, the dog definitely does not have a good voice. But apparently the dog mainly does it with one particular song. I don't know whether that means that he hates that song and is giving like signs like stop playing this. My neighbor once complained and thought my cat was abandoned in my house because she meows 30 times in an hour. Yeah, Buffy is also very vocal, so I'm very happy when she's kind of like entertaining herself because a lot of she needs a lot of attention and she's very vocal in her interaction with me. So it can get very loud then. No one ever fixes printers. You threaten them into submission or they leave you an emotional wreck crying on the floor. There's no other option. I mean, ours at work is just like constantly giving an error message, but if you ignore it, it still works. So this is our current way of working with the printer. It's work, so it's an actual project. Okay, okay. We are obsessed with dinosaurs, watching dinosaurs videos and playing Lego dino games and dino toys, all the good stuff, definitely. Stegosaurus. I do think I know what that one is. Speaking of work, our CTO was doing a round of one-on-one calls for some reason. I got my turn on Wednesday, but I managed to get in and out within 6 minutes of the allocated 15-minute turn. Like, is this like the yearly review? Because we are overdue for our yearly review, but those definitely take way longer for us than even the 15 minutes that he allocated for it. I just like the large, friendly plant-eating dinos. Yeah, definitely. They no, okay, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. Velociraptor, also very nice. First time the cat was trying to steal my food, I really thought being vegetarian would help, but seems like vegetarian bolognese was still too tempting. Yeah, for me, they do it with like they do try to sniff all of my food, but actual stealing is mainly when I have like breakfast, when I'm having like oats or like uh, cornflakes with milk. So the milk is what is attracting them still. You should have brought a triangle and banged that on. Nick's fave is a T-Rex, yes. Oh god, hearing the same passage on guitar over and over can get grating, but it's quite fun for him, I'm sure. Yeah, also just like the one that he starts off with is just like it's so depressing, I feel. It sounds depressing. And so I would always like get depressed just listening to it. It would always be like, oh no, not that again. It's like a whiny type of guitar sounds. Jurassic Park velociraptors or regular velociraptors. Reminds me of Dionysus. Yeah, exactly. Doggy singing voice. Yeah, no. Jurassic Park ones. Okay. Ankylosaurus is my favorite. Archaeopteryx is technically a bird. First one was found in Germany. Nice. I am behind or what? Oh, 2 minutes. Okay, fine. So we actually have the same one. Are the taller ones? Velociraptor are about knee high. Okay, okay. Tufty, have you heard the Alice Storm album with okay. I don't know whether I would ever want to hear that. I also pronounce it like as if I'm pronouncing it Dutch-ish, whereas maybe it's just like Ailstorm, the English pronunciation. I've never personally owned a printer, so it's even more difficult for me, but I'm not even I'm now but wait, but now I'm really invested in someone else fixing it. Yeah, mine sometimes like in the middle of the night will do its like it will wake up and do its like cleaning procedure and like please like time yourself better. ITing the crap out of hardware involves first howling, but you were working yesterday at it. No, well, if you work in a repair center the way that I do, the first thing you say is, but are you plugged in? If not, plug out, plug in. And then, like, our technicians always want us to ask this to our customer. Like, if you go to them and say, like, our customer is experiencing this problem with their device, should it come in? They're like, have they plugged it in and plugged it out and plugged it in again? But I really do not dare ask my customers this question because I find it like such a duh thing to do, you know? Of course they will have tried it. My favorite dinosaur is Ducky in the Land Before Time. Wait, Ducky, is that the pterodactyl? I don't know the names anymore of them. Wait, let me just look it up. Ducky plot. Yeah, maybe maybe if I look it up under the Dutch name, it wasn't called Ducky. Land Before Time. Ducky. Okay. Ah, that one. Cutie. Yeah, I don't know which dinosaur it is. That Spike one that I also like because he's like I don't know always eating. I could relate. There's some guy, Chico and the Man. Maybe he plays guitar and the bird sings and it's brilliant. Okay. Still wish they would make remakes of Dino Riders and Dino Saucers for the current generation. Yeah, I've never heard or seen those. The CTO call was weird. He's been wishing us a year. Wait, he's been with us a year or so maybe, and Wednesday was the first time. Wow, that's weird. I don't know him, he doesn't know me, and I want it in and out as soon as possible. Yeah, that is a little bit weird. One of my cats just slaps the food out of your hands. Luckily not, but they go like sniff, 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 and then I'm like, no, 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 my food. When the guest cat pops by, I have to make sure my sandwich is out of the way as it gets some interest if I have one. Okay. My cat is interested in everything I eat, even if she doesn't like it. Yeah, she's interested definitely. They're like, sniff, sniff, what is this? But usually it stays with just like sniffing near it and then going away. But sometimes, especially with milk things, they're like, ooh, must try learning instruments. I didn't envy my neighbor while trying to teach myself the violin. My dog used to go to sleep with her head in the actual back of my Marshall amp while I was playing. Okay. Didn't get bothered by the sound, I guess. When I had a cat as a kid, he either bit me or ran away from me, or whenever I was near, he hated me. Aw, that's so sad. It is Scottish pirate metal. Ailstorm, so I guess we'll pronounce it Ailstorm. They did and they did a version of an album. Read the words, Cleo, where all the vocals are okay, where all the vocals are dog barks. I'll post some later on Jolene's discords. Should be interesting. The Land Before Time is Platvoet en zijn vriendjes, right? Yes, exactly. Dutch. Yes, I and some others in the chat native speaker of Dutch. In my case, Flemish, which is the Belgian variant of Dutch. But a lot of people here as well have Dutch as their native tongue, mother tongue. Platvoet indeed, but there are a lot of sequels. Yeah, I don't think. I definitely watched. I mean, I know I've watched the first one. I'm not even sure I've watched the second one, for example. I just went and checked out the Ailstorm albums, but they're not something I tend to listen to. Don't mind them though, just not a go to listen. Oh, I really want to rewatch that now. You know what? I put on My Little Pony recently. I put it on like YouTube. I found it, but it was the English version, and I'm sorry, but all of my nostalgia is linked to the Dutch versions of these songs. So nope. Tufty, they're not exactly my favorite band either, but the dog's singing voice reminded me of that dog album. I mean, maybe he can start a whole career like that. Aki leans with her chin on my arm while I eat sometimes. It's the cutest when they lean on your arm at any point in time. Me and my need to know ducky is Becky. Ah, Becky in the Dutch version. Yeah. A quarter Dutch. Nice. My Little Pony, I love that. Yes, like My Little Pony, My Little Pony. En dan is altijd op zoek naar avontuur. That was the Dutch. But I've already forgotten the English, but I was like, no, not like that. Yes, I ordered the DVD box of Land Before Time, the first to the sixth, because I can't find it anywhere on Steam. Hmm. I don't know either, because like for My Little Pony, when I was like looking for it, I got all like the modern ones, but they're so ugly. I tend to swerve the Viking pirate themed bands. There are a few I don't mind. Ensiferon springs to mind. I can't recall the name of the main other band in that genre that I like. That's going to bug me now. What's going to bug you? The name of the other band. I just read it. I also wanted the Dutch version. I know I have seen the first four, but after that, not so sure. We're on the singing portion of the sprint on this channel now too. Exactly. I also watched My Little Pony. Yay! The Smooth or something was the name of like the. It was like a blob that was like taking over, like a slimy blob that was taking over the land or something like that. My paternal grandma has two Dutch parents. I believe my paternal grandpa had two Finnish parents. Yeah, nice mix. It's going to bug me that I can't recall the name of the band. How do I search for something when the name eludes me? Oh, that's so horrible. Like, if you kind of have like part of the song that can help, but then like I'll always have like a totally useless section of the lyric in mind, or I won't even be able to recall exactly the lyrics, and then it becomes almost impossible. Land Before Time currently has 14 movies. I remember the My Little Pony hype from my sisters. Yes. I guess I have my second sprint project to come up with that forgotten band name. Good luck. I hope you find it. I don't know how you're gonna look for it, but I hope like you might. I can't recall any lyrics, just a music video. Maybe if there's like something really striking about a music video, then you could also kind of look back, like, or like search for it based on some like keywords from the music video, which for some reason just brought the music video for like what is called "It's Like That, That's Just the Way It Is," which is like them doing like breakdancing in a circle or something like that. And I'm going to leave off here because we are about to go in another sprint. So see you guys in 40 minutes. Hello. I am trying to keep that one happy by just moving my laptop closer instead of going to sit closer to my laptop myself. But so I had a little bit of a technical difficulty during that one. I don't know whether you guys noticed, but like at some point StreamYard like kicked me out. So if that happens again, this time I was able to go back in really quickly. So normally I should be back quickly if it ever happens. But so yeah, I am 18% into my book now. So it's definitely not looking great for me finishing this book before the end of the month, but let's hope. Let me find back where I was. More or less here. This, I think. I love how the first search results of Ducky and Co is always is blah blah a girl or boy. Yeah, so important to for the comic dinosaurs. Exactly. I made a Google Sheets for all the animated shows I watched in my youth because I kept forgetting. Yeah, good one. Does anybody know Kleine Nemo in Dromeland? Nobody knows it, but we had it on VHS. It does ring a bell to some extent, but have to, yeah. But if you're gonna be making noise, I might as well. Kleine Nemo in Dromenland. No, I don't think I've ever watched it. If I see that image, I doesn't ring a bell, so I didn't watch it. They're all in the Viking outfits and blood spatters. And that's about the video clip, right? And blood spatters everywhere, as is the vibe on these things. Fintroll, Moonsorrow, man, these are all suggestions, I guess. The striking thing is the singer, okay. My maternal grandparents are a melting pot of European. Yes. Tufty, you should check out Viking Pirates of Doom by Arkham Witch Doe. Might give you a chuckle, okay. Funny because that example is It's Like That by Run DMC. Yes, that is indeed the example that I was giving. I suddenly remembered the name of the band while watching Patrick Leo on BookTube just now. Brothers of Metal Rocks. Okay. I think that is tonight's soundtrack picked out. I also watched Patrick's video right before sprinting. So delayed background brain processing for the win. Yes. Wow, a less than 2 hour long audiobook just made me tear up. I mean, short stories or novellas can really have a huge impact. It's just like when they're done right, it's like it can have a huge impact, and then sometimes the short form of it actually is like the perfect choice for that type of story. So this was about every day, wait, every morning something with the road gets longer and longer or something like that. But with this book I fulfilled the three last prompts on my bingo board for Nevermore Dawn and completed 7 rows. Wow, 7 in one go. Nice. I also with this one have a Secret Society, which I already counted, but let's say it was a little bit of a liberal interpretation of Secret Society. And every morning, that one, every morning the way get home gets longer and longer by Frederick Bachmann. It's about a man with dementia and his thought process or memories about his wife, son, and grandson. Oh, so it's from the perspective of somebody with, yeah, because the book that I mentioned earlier was like the perspective from the daughter of somebody who is starting to like get lost in dementia. Could have been longer, but in my opinion, handled the heavy topic very carefully. Yeah, I've also only heard good things about it. Made it to chapter 42. Good on you. Just finished work. Finally can go read now. Hope you'll enjoy. What's the condition of COVID situation over there? Here, COVID is increasing its head again. I don't know whether it's like increasing or decreasing again because basically I almost never like follow the news or anything like that, but there definitely are still cases, and I've definitely like maybe it's a little bit less now than around like January, February, where I felt like I was hearing a lot more people again who were having it. Now, the only person who I know who has it currently is somebody who I know through other people who's actually in Australia at the moment. But it's definitely still here, though I don't think there's a lot of talk about it at this point. Everybody's kind of trying to like ignore it, I guess, hoping that it won't get to any sort of like bad situation again. And here's hoping that where you are, it's also not like gonna get really, really bad. You know, that the numbers will go down shortly again. I like this laptop shelf so you don't have to move from the couch. Exactly. I have my iPad fitted to a keyboard on my footstool here. Okay, nice. I had a call with my mother. Nice. I am expecting my mother to call tomorrow because I'm going to Amsterdam this weekend. And she already called me 2 weekends ago because she thought I was going to Amsterdam then. And like last Sunday I was over there, and I think I reminded her like 15 times of the fact that this is the weekend I'm going to Amsterdam. And still by the end of the evening, she was like, yeah, but so somewhere later in May, that's when you go to Amsterdam, right? And I was like, no, mom, next weekend. So wouldn't surprise me if tomorrow my mother calls me and is like, was this now the weekend that you're going to Amsterdam? As usual, I fail to read anything in sprint stage 1 or 2, but there's always the third one, the third and final one. You know, you need the pressure of it being your final chance. I started Master of Jin, excited to finally get to it since I pre-ordered it and still haven't read it. Yeah, so I'm 18% into that at this point in time. Looked it up during the sprint. The guy with the mustache does look familiar. Need to listen to the intro. Maybe I remember it. Yeah, it doesn't look familiar to me, sadly. 20 pages and dinner, and yes, please add malice to your TBR, but no dinosaurs, although it has giants and other beasts. Yeah, it's definitely one that I want to give a go at some point. The issue is just too many series, and aside from series, too many books in general that I want to give a go. Um, but yeah, I would definitely love to try it out at some point. Quite a few people in the chat, I think, have read it also. Read about 3 chapters of Grace of Kings, which is why is this so good? Another one that is on that list of series that I one day want to start. Read the chapter on living with statistical men and women. Next one is chimerical risk management. So what does it mean? What do they mean living with statistical men and women? Like with people who are like the statistic standard, or people who love statistics? I guess not. The guitarist. The guitarist for a band I really like often does reaction videos to folks covering probably their most famous song. This time he was watching a couple of guys cover his song on accordion. That must have been a nice, different experience. The accordion guys absolutely rocked out, but I don't find it a sexy instrument, I'm afraid to say. Yeah, uh, it's pretty difficult to make it sexy, I guess. 7 bingos, indeed. So I got these chocolate praline eggs on the cheap post Easter. When you pop a fancy chocolate into your mouth, do you let it melt on your tongue or chew it into bits? I'm not a big chocolate fanatic, let's say, so I would just bite into it. But like, if you love to let it melt on your tongue, then definitely do. Then you can like kind of savor it for a little bit longer. For the Dutch readers, Hersenschimmen by Bernlef is also with the POV of someone who has Alzheimer or dementia, but doesn't know it himself. I've seen the title. I actually also have a vague idea of what the cover might be like, but I don't know the name of the author actually. What do you think about the Women's Prize for Fiction shortlist? I haven't really followed the Women's Prize. I did see a video about it yesterday, but I haven't read anything by any of these people. So in that sense, for the Women's Prize, I don't really have an opinion. Like Maggie O'Farrell is an author that I have been wanting to try. And then the other one that I knew was like Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. And I think I have another Kingsolver on my sort of like one to try one day sort of list. But yeah, there were three debuts on there, which is interesting and a very nice way to immediately get like on the radar of a lot of people for a young author like that. And then the other one, I don't actually remember what the other one was. I was kind of sad to see the Bandit Queens go, just because that is like the one book that I know was on the long list that I had like on my list of anticipated releases for this year. I think that book also had a lot of translations, so maybe you can find it in your language. It's very definitely still wait. It's very definitely still COVID. In GP, I think I mentioned previously that a sci-fi author caught COVID at a convention just days before his new book was released, so had to cancel events. I have a purring cat on my lap right now, and I could cry from joy. First time. I don't envy you with your cat friends. How is the cat? Seems to be going very well then. I am aiming to maintain my streak of never having caught the Rona. I mean, we will never know if we've never caught it. We've just never had the symptoms in any case. I don't perform well under pressure. I also started a Master of Gin. 42% in I need your speed. I don't really like it. I'm a bit bored. Okay. So far, I'm liking it. My main concern with the Master of Gin has always been the fact that it is detective. With the short stories, I've been fine, but I don't know how I will deal with a full length novel like that because, I don't care about the whodunit or whatever of a book like that, but I do like the characters, so that's hopefully gonna kind of get me through it. I mean, get me through it. That's hopefully gonna compensate for some of the things that I don't like as much. Malice is one of my favorite books, exactly. Malice and Might Have Dinosaurs. It's really like completely different to my understanding of what Malazan is like. I just expect really like a medieval sort of thing with maybe dragons in it, but is Grace of Kings the first in a series? I seem to recall that that series gets even better after that, from what I've seen on BookTube anyway. Yes, it's the Dandelion Dynasty. Dynasty. Don't know. Dynasty is the UK pronunciation, I guess. Only the crumbliest, flakiest of chocolates. Yes. Statistical people means people we know through their representation as data and media, but not as individuals, people in other countries and so on. Okay. Because the lady loves milk tray. Okay, I don't know these adverts. My opening greeting was a quote from Tramcar 15. Like at the very beginning of the sprints. Yeah, I don't really remember. I just remember that it was like sort of like formal or older language or something. I know, I haven't caught COVID. I keep to myself. Yeah, sure. That's also a possibility, of course. Tuft is the guy you mentioned doing reaction videos from. There's a song with a crazy fast guitar solo, and there's the Jesus, amazing French girl who covered it. I will not remember the band on my own. Malazan has almost no typical pseudo medieval European bits. See, I really don't know anything about Malazan except for the fact that people seem to find it confusing. Um, I did see like Gardens of the Moon in the bookstores before I ever like start to follow anything about books online. And that's the one time in which I was kind of tempted to start it, but then I was like, okay, I didn't buy it for some reason. And then through BookTube, even though I never really followed anybody who was reading Malazan, I just have a wrong impression of it clearly. I mean, the only person who I follow who has I think, yeah, I think it's probably one of the only people. I mean, there must be a few who have talked about Malazan, but the one that I'm definitely sure was reading Malazan or rereading Malazan at some point is Angela from Literature Science Alliance. But I think I kind of zone out during those sections. That's the one, Dragon Force, Through the Fire and Flames. It's Dragon Force, okay? I need to see this amazing, amazing French girl covering it. Yes, that one. Thank you. Your memory is not useless. You remember a lot of the things that we mention in Sprint's conversations, where I am just stuck with useless memory that only remembers like serial numbers of devices for work. So I would much rather forget that information. I have had the first Malazan book on my shelf for probably a couple of decades now, but have to admit that BookTube has scared me off reading it more recently. It's not necessarily that I'm scared off of it. It's just like, I don't know. It's not really high on my radar. I think I did lose interest with it, hearing how like detailed and complex it is, because then I was like, it might not be for me. So it went down my radar. But it's not like I'm avoiding it for the sake of it potentially being complicated and being scared of that. It's more like that I think like, that probably means that it's not for me, because I did try that then with Curse of the Mistrate, where indeed then I was like, okay, I thought I was safe there because I'd read something by this author before, but in the end I was like, I don't understand. I guess I have my Sprint Stage 3 project. Find a French girl on YouTube. Reading! Reading! Malazan is very unique and all over the place. Flying rocks, dinosaurs with weapons. It's a ton of fun, really. Yeah, whenever you're talking about Malazan in the Discord, I think you like, what weird, crazy type of book are they reading? And then it's like, Ice Malazan? Okay. I tell a colleague at work that I don't remember lots of factoids. I just know how to reason it out when I'm faced with a problem or query. Shadia loving Malazan so much actually made me interested in it a bit. Still don't know if it really is for me. Yeah, same. But at this point in time, I'm just like, yeah, my interest for it is growing. On the other hand, I have a ton of series that I still need to continue or finish, and a lot of series that I had an interest in for a lot of longer. So I should not dive into the Malazan sidetrack. Malazan is far less difficult than some people claim. Yeah, it's just like if it's got a huge cast of characters, and like I, for example, prefer super simple language. So if it's not got simple language, then that might already be something that doesn't really work for me. It's Tina S. Now you can read. Lately, I've been comparing just about everything I read with Robin Hobb's Farseer trilogy that has been just so perfectly pitched for me. So it has immediately become a reference book. Yeah. Farseer, when I read Royal Assassin, I had that sort of like, perfect for me. This is the type of 5-star read and the type of book that, like, the way I'm reading it or the way that I'm feeling while reading it makes me excited about reading again and stuff like that. So, not that I'm not excited when I'm reading other books, sometimes I'm not excited, but like it's that sort of like swept away feeling of wanting to continue, wanting to be able to read faster, to be able to consume the story even faster. But then I went to um, Live Ships Traders, which for me is a perfect sort of like combination of Robin Hobb's writing style, which works really well, and characters that I enjoy reading from. Because, not gonna lie, Fitz is not my favorite character. And yeah, in that sense, I am very happy to have more perspectives to read from in a live ship. Uh, Getting behind again from 80 the video. If Malazan were an anime, no one would bat an eye at the stuff, really. Okay. Reading, genuine proper heart lol here in the McTavish manner. Yes, that's what you should be doing. That one. I mean, we'll see. You don't have to, of course. Just challenging you to it. By the way, the cat is sleeping and dream twitching on my lap, so this is a very new kind of success. So far, she has been too scared to sleep outside of her room. And it's a huge step. Like, not only is she sleeping like near you, she's even doing it on your lap. The sleep twitching is so cute. It's also like cute when they do like with their mouth, like the licking sort of thing. Not really licking, but like the sort of thing. I'd link it here if I was allowed. Lol. I trust everyone's searching skills. Yes, I have never. I have still not tried to figure out how to make people moderators. Concur on Farseer. I'm reading it slower to take it all in. Yeah. Celebration indeed. It's great progress. Malazan does have more complex language and a lot of literary fiction influence in the prose and structure, which can be okay or not. Because I like literary fiction, which often has a little bit more of a complex language or a more elaborate language. And I like that in literary fiction, but in fantasy, I definitely prefer simple. Easy does it in fantasy for me. But so let's go into our final sprint of the evening and see you guys in 40 minutes. So, there we go again. Finished the final sprint for tonight. Good job, guys, regardless of what you've been doing. And I am now 24% into the book, so still not convinced I'm going to finish by the end of the week, but we'll see. All depends on how much I get read in Amsterdam, but it's definitely not going to be my priority. So, if I don't have time to read in Amsterdam, then, then this book will not be finished. Wait, here, I think. No, here. Small progress for your new kitty. I need to get to live ship so I can fully appreciate your words. I mean, it can be different. I know that there are also a lot of people who prefer the Fitz books over live ship traders, for example. So you can have a completely different experience than I have with them. And Malazan has sexy zombie pirate ladies. When the guest cat went to sleep between my legs a few weeks ago, I did not want to move while it was content. Yeah, I have my cats long enough that I'm more okay with, like, at some point being like, yeah, leave please. Especially since Buffy will just stay on me for the majority of time if I'm here. It's very rare that the moment in which I want to go to sleep, she is not on my lap. Because it happens sometimes that she like seeks to be away from me, but it happened mainly during COVID times when we had like so much time together that even she was like, enough's enough. You cannot move once a cat has chosen, it is known. I do actually move, but she always comes back. So not my truth, but I'm sure Buffy would want this to be truth. I have a male blackbird in the garden that does not scoot off as soon as I appear. I can literally walk out of the house and it'll just keep wandering the lawn looking for worms even when I'm nearby. Confident bird. Trying to click on the next comments. I do recognize that Tina S cover. I do like watching TTFNF. I don't know what it stands for. Covers. Herman Lee reacts to lots of them on his channel, so I've got to see a few. He did that one. I cursed a lot and also loved it. Tramcar. I was thinking to myself that Abla, is that how you pronounce it? Sounded awfully familiar, and now I know for sure my thought was correct. Abla, is that what can I say without it potentially being a spoiler for somebody who hasn't read Tramcar yet? Gonna have to look back into it. During this book, am also like, wait, is this the character from that short story or not? Because I've forgotten all of their names. Lol at regardless. Dinner, Patrick, and Dragon Force for me tonight, it seems. Well, that's also productivity. Got a lot of things done. Finished the chapter on chimerical risk management, and I'm now almost done with the one on shock waves of trauma. Liveship is far better than Farseer. Can't speak for the later Fitz books, but ladies on ships get my vote anytime, dead or undead. Yeah, definitely for me at this point in time, Liveship is better. Still need to go for still need to read the third one. But yeah, so far this one is my favorite. This series, with Ship of Magic being my favorite of the two that I've read in it so far. Read 76 pages of The Dragon Reborn and showered during those sprints. Not too bad, exactly. I looked into Read a Thin, trying to decide if I want to participate. Not sure because with my 42 books on my own TBR, two of the prompts I can't fulfill. I haven't looked into it yet. I saw that there were some mentions of it in Sasha's Discord yesterday, but I hadn't heard of it yet. So, but I will maybe look into it. But yeah, I have like 24, I want to say, on my TBR at the moment. So that might also be a challenge for me then. Let's see, physical TBR. It's already a spoiler to some extent for my wrap up for this month. 22 did better than I thought I did. Um, but so yeah, I think I don't know too much about it, but yeah, I assumed based on the comments it has to do with reducing your physical TBR. I do prefer the Fizz books, but also love the live ship ones. Rain Wild ones are okay. Yeah, that's interesting because like with live ship traders, you get a little bit more like sprinkling of the rain wild part of the world. And so it's got me intrigued to know more about that. And, developments in the series make me go like, I might actually be interested in rain wilds. But then I know that so many people consider that one to be like not as good, and because of the struggles that there were with publication for that series, I'm like, it's definitely possible that I might be disappointed if I have too high hopes for it. Is it Buffy that disappears whenever you have visitors over? Yeah. The moment that doorbell rings, she will just like fly away and then typically try to get into the cupboard. Before, like originally, they only had access to this room of my apartment, and then she would just like hide under the sofa the entire time when people came over. But then during COVID, I like it was impossible for me to keep them just there while I would be here all day in like my office room. So then they had access to the majority of the apartment from that time onwards. So then she discovered the cupboard. So now she's always hiding in the closet when people come over. I've gotten a couple of chapters in the game. I like it so much they called it chapters. Yeah. I read 29 pages of the final strive and I'm at chapter 6 now and I'm really liking it. Yeah, the final strive is one like it made it onto my favorite books of the year list, I think. In any case, it's definitely one that I highly enjoyed last year. Natalie is a very low key one, so it's probably going to be fine if you join. Okay. I'm only participating in Desertathon. Yeah, I need to see what I'm gonna be doing. But maybe I'll just like by the end of the month decide. I'm so obsessed with Grace of Kings. I need to keep reading. Why do I have so much stuff to do tomorrow? It's a great feeling, but also a very annoying one. I had it with Matship, like, and towards the end of it, I was really like, why do I have to work today? I just want to finish this book. But if I join the inner part of me that wants to win, I would like to at least be able to complete it. Yes. Ambition or like competitive spirits can be a curse as well. I really liked Assassin's Apprentice, so I'm sure I love the other books as well. Assassin's Apprentice for me was just like, nah, okay, it's good, but it didn't really sell me. Royal Assassin is what sold me. It's a song title, Through the Fire and the Flame. Okay. 15 pages left to finish the book. Really enjoying it. Love that. Hopefully it will like wrap up perfectly. I like it when a book like lands and an ending is very important for me and my enjoyment of a book. I think Farseer has gotten better and more varied, so I have been utterly delighted with it. Chunky but fabulous. Maybe I should do a specifically academic, mostly Marxist anarchist readathon. Go wild on it. I still need to work on my readathon a little bit. My life is an academic readathon all the time. At least I managed to stay consistent and get some pages turned in Sprint Stage 3. I do like to be consistent. Consistency is key. I too disappear when visitors come over. You also hide in the closet then? Kitty, mine seems to have turned back into one. Yeah. I hide when the doorbell rings. I also don't always open, but like that's the nice thing about an apartment. I have a camera, so I can actually see whether I recognize the person or not. Our doorbell has been broken for over 2 years and is great, unless the debt collector threatens to show up with a fucking locksmith. Yeah, definitely. That in those cases, you want to be able to know he's there. I normally don't answer the door unless I'm expecting a delivery. When the surprise chocolate box gift arrived last week, I only answered the door because I'd heard him trying to fit it through the letterbox. You are more than welcome. Thank you guys for keeping me company. Should I go to bed to read or watch more booktube? I mean, what is your normal schedule? What is the consistent actions to take? While we could always debate which is better, but the one where Farsi is the one on top is that it's had its own song in Hand of Sorrow. But okay, didn't know that. I'm just gonna continue to the end of the chat here. No closets for me, but I did hide under tables when I was little. Lol. Night night all indeed. Enjoy your evening, everybody, or like go to bed, which is what I will be doing. I'm participating with Asian Readathon, Readathin, Escape the Readathon, Desertathon, and Fox and Woods Patreon Readathon. I know some of these. You are welcome. Thanks for the sprint. Good night. See you guys. Watch my full spoiler video on the newest Malazan book. It's all about imperialism. I mean, Tufty hasn't read Malazan yet, so he will definitely not watch it yet. But maybe one day, Tufty, when you finished all of Malazan. You are welcome. Thanks, guys, for being here. Okay, so I am up to speed here. Next week we should be doing this again. I haven't scheduled them yet, but I will probably schedule like the next block of 4 of these. Ow, Buffy, don't distract me. I will schedule the next block of 4 of them, but knowing me, it's very much possible that I'll only do it like on Wednesday evening for the Thursday after that. But so thank you guys for keeping me company and enjoy the weekend, which for some of you I'm assuming will be a long one as it is for me. But so yeah, see you guys.